There are few things as powerful as the Kimchi Slap.
Wow, that just splashes everywhere.
Yeah, it does.
Oh god, someone made a green screen version. that's that's something.
That's from a Korean drama.
Okay.
Yeah, what an interesting. Yeah.
I Okay, I guess I have to put something in the link dump now because that was how we opened the episode. So hi everybody, uh, welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast. I can't watch the video and react with everybody
I
else
like
because
how just as the kimchi is being slapped against his face, the printer prints a single piece of paper to protect itself.
I didn't catch the what?
Yeah, look at the printer. There's not a lot of kimchi on the printer because it prints a page right at the exact moment.
Oh,
hang on,
wow.
I'm watching it now. So it does. Good job, printer. Nice save. Like, I would like to think that's okay, guys. This printer has to go back to office supplies tomorrow, so let's not get any shit on it. We just gotta do this at the exact right time. Like, that's some planning. I don't think that's what happened, but it's nice to imagine it did. The great arduous task of that shot was not to have the fucking slap be good, but to make sure the printer was protected at the last second.
The timing.
I wonder how many times they had to do that shot. Did they splice together a swing and a hit from two different takes? Like what? How many shirts did they burn through? How many white shirts are no longer clean because
How much of his expression after he gets hit with the kimchi is just genuine? This feels gross.
I imagine a lot of it.
I feel like they didn't do that many takes of it because that was not a great shot. Like, if you're gonna do a slap, you gotta go for the face. You can't go for the neck.
The kimchi just falls apart.
Well, I mean, it is noodles and sauce. So.
Yeah, but it's just like everywhere, and I can't imagine they just would clean it up and then like, okay, next take.
Also, one, we don't know the budget of this show. That might be a high dollar shot for this show. And two, do you want kimchi sauce in your eyes? That shit is made with red peppers, or, just peppers in general.
I feel like that's just a danger no matter where it hits. So you should be like, yeah, this is gonna happen. This is gonna get it in my eyes, so I need to close them. Like that's just an eventuality you're not going to escape if you're getting slapped with that stuff.
Fair.
So, hi.
That happened.
I'm Casey. How's it going? And we got Slicer.
Hey, I've had the joy of eating kimchi noodles recently, so I have a bit of an inside knowledge on how that would feel.
Okay, and Zero.
Hi, I haven't had kimchi noodles before, so this would be an interesting bit of research to do.
They're hot. I didn't know that before I ate them.
That sounds like a recipe for a fun time.
No, it's a recipe for a bunch of noodles in the garbage. I went to there's quite a few Asian markets in the city, and I looked for the only ramen that wasn't spicy because it didn't have a pepper or a fire symbol on the package because it's all Japanese or other Asian, and I mistook. I guess they were both spicy still, so that was great. Two different kinds. Wasted $10.
Not a fan of spice?
No, I can't stand it.
You don't spice?
No,
He doesn't spice.
nope.
What is with today and the Critical Role references? I don't get it.
It's the thirst.
It's a prominent thing we all watch, so yeah, it's bound to come up eventually.
And there's not been a new episode in too long.
God, it's been too long.
Yeah. Oh, well. So, who wants to go first? I guess I'll go first.
That
Yeah,
works.
you probably did more than me.
I don't know about that. I didn't do much.
I think
finished-
we might all have short weeks.
I finished one of my commissions, so the set with the contractor is now done, which is the name of the story, not the person that asked the paid for the writing.
The contractor.
Yeah, it's basically one of those, the Rule 34 economy things where you buy women. It's one of those, only treating it like, okay, the person responsible for it is not an omnipotent god that's bored. It's actually a company that buys and sells women and men, but target audience and all that. So it's sort of more of a capitalist dystopia kind of theme rather than just bored gods, as tends to happen in most of these CYOA things. It was apparently a take on it that was more interesting than most, so it was nice to know that I did something different with a thing that's been overdone in recent months. But with that done, at least for the current round, I am moving back to the Song of Ice and Fire Fallout crossover. That is definitely only going to be on commission because Patreon would not like that story at all.
No.
So
probably
what
not.
what exactly is that? Like, what's the sort of the main story there?
For which?
For you said it was a Fallout and Song of Ice and
Fire. Yeah. So there's a kid. His name's Bradley. He's shit. He looks like... You know how Kirito described Kuradil in Sword Art Online Abridged? What was it, like 4 inches of skin stretched over 4 feet of skull or something? It looks kind of like that. Just very, very skinny, very bony kind of person. No muscle. Kind of a nerd. Absolute bottom of the pile socially. And he gets a crushing rejection from a girl the day before the bombs drop in the Fallout setting.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to improve myself. I'm going to go hiking on this fucking trail, because he's in Colorado, so there's a lot of, like, mountain trails and shit. And he does for about 10 minutes before he gets tired and has to lean on a rock. Because he's not very fit at all. However, that rock is also the cover for a secret vault, basically. And it is Vault-Tech's 6th backup in case everything goes to absolute shit, which was apparently needed based on the Fallout setting, even though it never got used, right. Kind of thing. Yeah. So because he discovered it, the handy models that are basically taking care of the vault take him in to disappear him, and the intention is to turn him into an FEV enhanced soldier to protect the people that will eventually be coming to use the vault and disappear from the world, because this is their final backup of, okay, everything is absolute shit, we can't stay in this world anymore, so Einstein-Rosenbridge techno bullshit and just move to another reality kind of thing.
Oh, okay, so that's how the crossover's coming into this.
Yes. And because the bombs drop later that day, the bots realize, okay, there's a foible in their programming that I spent a lot of time trying to work out how robots would actually parse this to make it beneficial for the main character. But basically he ends up as the master of the vault, and they put him through an altered FEV system that would let him keep his Todger, basically.
Mm.
So he's still human, because that's kind of the key point that they want to make sure, because they need to, continue the species, humanity. Sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, super mutants are pretty much Ken dolls, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they end up under the mountains of the Vale in Song of Ice and Fire.
Whoops.
Not really. Whoops. Like, of all places to go, it's probably one of the best because holy shit, they could steamroll that.
Could be much worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he shows up during just before Robert's rebellion, and takes part in that. Builds a name for himself, gets a title, yada yada, and then everything goes to shit because it's a Song of Ice and Fire, and then he decides, okay, kicking over the anthill, let's fucking do this, is where it is currently.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a fun story, and I'm kind of glad to be going back to it. But
so where can I read that?
That would be on QQ.
Okay.
Remember when I said it's a story that Patreon would not like and would never be part of the poll thing? Yeah, there's some things that Patreon would basically suspend my account for, so...
Do they suspend people for written word?
Yeah. If it's content that they very specifically don't want on their site, then yes, they will just remove it. Which is why Cambrian doesn't put any non-con or incest stuff on there.
Ah, gotcha.
It is the latter that is a concern for me, by the way, just to make it clear.
Yeah.
Because Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's also a concern. also, yeah, the canon stuff is also part of why that's a problem. Not the only reason.
I know. I've recently learned that Tumblr just does not give a shit about. They still have a boatload of written porn on the site.
They tried and then they gave up.
It's like, hey, we want to ban porn. Oh yeah, do you? Yeah, okay. 95% of your content just dried up. What are you worth now? That's what I thought. We're getting the porn back. Thank you very much.
we do not sanction it, but we're not going to stop it.
Is it just the written stuff they're not like letting by, or is it just everything again?
I wonder if you could like Google search Tumblr female presenting nipple and then just see a flood of images. I assume so at this point.
Probably.
Just as protest, if nothing else. Or not, because that was like 7 years ago or something, wasn't it?
It was a while. Yeah, oh man.
It was a few years. I wouldn't say 7. Probably like 3 or 4.
Tumblr porn ban. Oh wow. Okay. So it was apparently 2018.
Yeah, that I was in the back of my mind. I was thinking that's like 2018-ish.
For some reason, I thought it was way earlier than that. All right. Yeah. So that was a stupid thing that they did. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, that commission. So I'm moving back to that story, and I'm glad for it. I needed a break from it, but it's good to be going back to it because it's one I really like writing. As usual, not that much to talk about for what I've been doing other than the writing because it takes up a lot of my time. I have been... Okay. I have heard about Post Malone for the past few years. And I've heard bits and pieces of his songs, like, just through osmosis, and it's like, that actually sounded okay, but I'm not really that kind of guy that would listen to this sort of thing. I mean, his album's called Beer Bongs and Bentleys. That's a stupid fucking album title. Why would I ever listen to something like that? I listened to something like that a couple days ago.
Fair.
I think Post Malone is one of my guilty pleasures now.
It happens.
Yeah, so that happened. I'll have to tell Ryu he writes some good music. It's a Discord in joke. Yeah, so that was fun discovery. It's nice to have something very chill, just like relax. Kind of, relax is kind of a good thing at the moment, really.
Yeah.
I feel like
my choice of music is only getting weirder the more time goes on.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a problem. Well, not a problem, but an outcome of this. Just like desiring any kind of unusual stimulus.
I've been listening to these like Tenacious D and Evangelion mashups.
Uh,
I'm
Yeah,
interested.
they're pretty hilarious with the visuals. There's two of them. If I can pull them up.
yeah, we're gonna
One
need links
is
for this. This is gonna be a link dump episode, apparently.
yeah, one is the I did not mean to blow your mind, which, and then there's another one which is tribute.
I mean, of course, there's a tribute one.
So
Is there
yeah,
a karate one? There should be a karate one.
there's only two. They're very weird. They also sound great.
I There needs to be a karate one, and it needs to be set to the fucking dancing episode. Karate, I'll kick your ass. From here to right over there. It's fucking great.
Then there was the Joker and Akechi both singing "You're Nothing Without Me" with the voice actors. I don't know if you guys have heard that,
Nope.
but Xander Mobus and Robbie Damon, voice actors of Akechi and Joker, singing a show tune.
I have heard that, and that was really good.
I love the internet that lets this sort of shit happen. Just fucking really dumb but creative ideas.
Yeah,
And just everyone getting involved in the shit. Like, it was great when it was just fans and they would do wacky shit like this and off the wall ideas and just make shit. But now with actual parts of the creative team involved, it's even better.
It just steps it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that's not just a cover. They actually have unique persona lyrics. So
yes,
it
they
is a
do.
full-on
Yeah,
fan song.
it's great.
What were we talking about?
Oh, you're talking about Post Malone.
Oh yeah, the music.
Right.
That you were
That
talking
was-
about weird music, yeah.
I lost the original thread on that one.
Yeah. Did I do anything else? I mean, not really worth talking about. No. Yeah. Got a little further through Persona 5, I guess. That's pretty much it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you made it to the Okumura Palace yet?
Nope. Just finished Kanashiro. Like I say, I don't have a lot of time to do things, sadly.
Mhm.
So it's very slow going. Just sort of plugging away at it.
Yeah, I've been.
mhm.
If I can keep, I can go if you would like.
Yeah, go.
I've been. It's been pretty slow. In terms of things going on, which is to be expected. Started playing a little bit of Animal Crossing again because they dropped a bunch of updates and stuff, including the ability to make hedges, which is so nice. I like making hedges and also shrubberies. Thank you for the shrubberies, because they had a whole Earth Day thing, and then they added on to the museum with the art exhibit, and also now you can get scammed for fake art again, which is nice. I like to get fake art on accident.
So, these shrubberies.
Yes.
That
you
long
trying to-
pause was for all of the audience to fill in their own Monty Python jokes. You get back to me on that. We'll see what comes up in the comments.
Did you start that joke and just forget or not realize you didn't think of one ahead of time?
No, I started the joke, knew what the joke was going to be, and thought, I don't want to make this joke, but our audience will love it.
I just dropped the word shrubbery just to see what would happen.
Yeah, I can't hear the word shrubbery without thinking of Monty Python, and I have a feeling a lot of people are in a similar boat.
Well, it's nice, but not too expensive. Damn it.
But yeah, they're continuing to update that, which is nice.
Did they take out the real world timers?
No,
No,
that's
that's
part of the
part
game.
of the
That
core
is
game.
fucking disgusting.
Don't know what to tell you, man. You can just be like me and just freaking, if you're tired of waiting, just time travel. Do that in the first month so much that you get sick of the game, then come back a few months later and be like, okay, now I can start playing it like they want me to, because I don't really
I
care
mean,
as much.
okay, is the timer based on when you first started? Is it like, okay, you've gotten to this point exactly a week from now, you can do this thing?
Okay. How it works is typically certain things will take a day to resolve. So, for example, I want to upgrade my house. Okay, cool. Tomorrow, your house is going to be bigger and it's going to have more stuff. All right. This person is moving in. They'll be here tomorrow. Okay, they're here. You can greet them. They'll have all their furniture set up and be a proper member roaming around the town on the next day after that. So it's not like you have to wait a certain amount of weeks or something until actual progress happens. It's just there's lots of different events that usually require you to wait a day or so.
Couldn't you just implement a system like Minecraft where, oh look, you activated the bed, you slept for a day?
I mean, yes, you could, but this is meant to be a online thing, so I don't know. The part of the draw of this is it's not supposed to be a game you're meant to binge. It's meant to be a game you play like 30 minutes a day, maybe, and
That's
then
fair, I guess. I can't really blame it for what it's become, which is the fuck locked inside isolation game, quarantine game. There you go. That's the word I was thinking of.
yeah.
Let's be honest. In terms of games that you're only supposed to play 30 minutes a day and always constantly come back to, it's way less predatory than it could be. There are worse options out there.
That's
Yes.
fair, yeah.
So it's still fun. I really am not like I paid off my debt immediately, as I tend to do, because I hate being in debt.
Yeah.
You're not going to make me stay in debt. Uh,
To that
so
racist asshole.
so once I paid off my debt and everything, and got all my bridges and everything, major features built in my town, and got the way I wanted, I was just like, I'm going to just stop and only come back every now and then just to see if there's new furniture that I can grab, because you can put furniture outside, so you can really decorate your town. I've seen people. I know some people have made their town look like the Hoenn region.
Ooh.
I saw another one which made their town look like Isle Delfino. Because of the terraforming stuff, there's lots of really fun stuff you can do. Although I remember last time I quit playing for a while because I built the mech. And once you build yourself a giant mech, it's just like, okay, I'm good. That's the hardest thing to build in this game.
That makes sense, yeah.
Really cool. But it requires so many rare materials that nothing is ever going to be as difficult to make, which, makes sense, but
You're just
they're always
kind of
at
exhausted by the time you actually finish it.
it requires, not only does this require a lot of resources, it requires multiple recipes and these are relatively rare recipes. that also require rare resources.
Ah.
Thankfully, though, through the power of friendship, you can just steal those items from other people. I mean, borrow. I mean, buy.
I mean, is it theft if they're giving it to you?
I gave the resources to my brother who had the recipes and he crafted them for me.
Did he then gift you the finished robot, or can he?
No, I had the recipe for the robot and he had it too, but he had to make the two items that I needed, which were the gold armor and the rocket. And once I had those two items, I could just build it myself. The hardest thing to get are rusted parts, which in order to get those, there's a somewhat like a weekly event where Gulliver will wash up on your shores. This seagull guy, right? And he's like, "Oh no, I need to contact my ship to pick me up. Please find my communicator parts." So the best way to make the robot is to find his communicator parts and then not give it to him. You need 30 of those parts. Yep, you get 5 every time he shows up.
Oh, so I imagine there's a lot of shutting down the game, adjusting your date forward.
You can go forward and then go back. Because once the week starts, the events are pretty much locked in for that week. So, yeah. It was difficult at first because I thought that the way I had to get it was after you help them, and the next day in your in the recycling bin, you find one rusted part. It's like, but if you just grab his parts and don't give it back to him at all, you get 5. In other words, in order to make this robot, you have to be a huge jerk.
Oh, yeah. What an interesting life lesson that is teaching you.
But I'm doing it for power.
All right, Virgil, calm it down.
Yeah. Aside from that, gosh darn it.
Fucking patient. He's ruined us forever.
Yeah.
Let's see. I cleared out the FGO event. Got all the apples that I needed. That was nice. I've been touching base with some gacha because why not? Because
Specifically
time.
Fate Go Gotcha, or do you
Fate
branching
Go
out
and Pokemon Masters. And Pokemon Masters has a Ho-Oh event right now, featuring the gold and silver characters.
I was going to say pastries.
Okay, I don't get it. Is it not
Ho-Hos
garbage
are a
yet?
brand of pastries.
Oh,
What was that?
right. Is it not garbage yet?
I mean, Pokemon Masters is a game that is interesting. It's not great, but I've come to actually somewhat enjoy it, and that's probably because I have Cynthia and Sabrina. Probably.
I can't blame you.
And I got a lot of good characters in that game, so I'm like, might as well. I was tempted for a brief moment to re-download Fire Emblem Heroes, but then I was like, no, don't. That game is awful.
Yeah, one of the Pokemon YouTubers got really, really stuck into that.
Hey, what if we put some IVs on your gacha characters?
Oh, God.
It's awful. That game was ruined. Instantly. Also, yes, this cake is basically a supersized ho-ho.
Isn't that just chocolate roll? Swiss roll?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, but that's I think Little Debbie's or Hostess or something like that. Whatever company makes it, that's what they call it.
My parents celebrated their wedding anniversary yesterday in quarantine, so that's nice.
Ew.
I meant like we had like a nice dinner with chicken parmesan.
Yeah, that's not the instant assumption that you come to when you say something like that. I was assuming banging as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome, Zero.
Anyway, well, quarantine is depressing. At least it's warming up, so we have the ability to go in the pool, which is nice. Okay, trying to move past this.
All right.
You.
Yeah, I just played some D&D. I'm playing a cleric that has the absolute worst luck in one of the games I'm playing in. And yeah, I think it's pretty much the only game I'm playing in now. Yeah, playing a cleric with bad luck, and now I've realized I have become Aqua Konosuba.
I appreciate the clarification, by the way.
It's just like, okay, I'm gonna do a Word of Radiance, deal damage to these enemies. I rolled a 1. 1 damage.
Word of Radiance. God! And just kind of look at you.
And then I just like, okay, let me try some melee attacks for attacks of opportunity. Miss. I didn't land a single attack that entire session.
What is your attack bonus?
So we did point buy. So I have a dexterity of 14.
That's a +4, I guess, at level whatever.
Yeah, I've rolled so poorly. My character has sabotaged a sneaking attempt by singing hymns to himself. Has, on accident, has been knocked out and captured and tied to a boar. Has nearly fallen off a tower, taking another party member with him. The absolute worst luck for this good boy cleric. And I'm slowly realizing I am more and more becoming the Aqua.
Are you gonna get a bunch of water spells, create water, and just use it for party tricks?
I'm about to do that, right? Like that's because like it is a campaign in which we're in an MMO and we're playing like basically mob trash races. Because of some sort of error or something. So we're not actually we're the monsters. We're not the players. And my character is this tiny little junk robot who's like, because it's a IRL person technically, is the character who is Christian. So I am just going up to enemies and being like, have you heard about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? It's like, and Jesus is my word of radiance. And now they're on fire. Oh no.
Don't you mean, oh no?
Oh no.
You're a robot. It's funny.
I mean, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Not really much else to say because, oh yeah, KFC's very busy.
I can only imagine.
And we're only getting busier, and people want to get food. Because
yeah, I feel like that's okay. people are kind of getting stir crazy. They want to eat out again, even if it's just fucking KFC.
Well, because we have the buckets, and we're more, angled towards that family style home cooking type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we get lots of big orders. And because we have wings, we sometimes get things like, oh, this person wants like 140 wings. And I'm like, oh, okay. Great.
We also, it's kind of slowly coming out that we might be hitting a meat shortage soon because the
Yeah.
packing plants aren't running. So people are probably panic buying as well on some level.
Yeah. To my knowledge, KFC is not anywhere near a meat shortage. And from what my dad has told me, the meat shortage is because a lot of those packing plants want to get, like, I think subsidies or something. They're intentionally creating a potential shortage situation so they can get government money.
I mean, considering the fucking idiot Trump declared a state of emergency or something for meat or however that breaks down, it's an essential resource. I think they might get it.
Yeah. So there's no real
Part of
meat
the deal.
shortage. It's just people being jerks and wanting money.
Part
Yeah.
of the deal, right there, jackass.
So I wouldn't worry about a meat shortage. It's just, but hey, at the same time, everybody's buying their chicken strips. I'm probably one of the only people out there who's actually losing weight during this whole thing.
Yeah. I've gained, I think, like 5 or 10 pounds.
Yeah, I've been working out and still trying my best to eat light. Down to like 197 pounds. So
Oh, nice.
that makes, since the start of February, 39 pounds lost.
Ooh, sweet.
So hoping to keep it going.
Yeah.
But I get every pound it feels like I'm getting closer to the hard limit of like how much I can realistically lose while still eating like a regular person. Almost.
That's the point you want to be at, really.
Yeah.
Once you get more accustomed to actually exercising as well, you can always step that up. So you can inch lower, but yeah, I mean there is a definite limit if you want to maintain a regular diet. I mean,
Mm-hmm. And I'm noticing like other family members of mine getting larger, and I'm like, I'm getting thinner. Ha, superiority. No, but seriously, take care of your health, guys. Like,
Yeah, this whole thing is not going to be good for the global BMI. It's going to be bad.
yeah, take care of your health.
You thought obesity was a problem in the 90s. Oh boy.
Now more than ever, take care of your health, because gaining that extra weight does not help fight against the COVID.
No, it
it's
does
the
not.
opposite, actually.
So, you guys do anything for May the 4th?
I don't really give a shit about Star Wars, so no, not really.
I noted it was a thing.
My dad put on episode 4 and then fell asleep during it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I had forgotten that it was a thing until I noticed a bunch of stuff pop up on Tumblr. I mean, not Tumblr, Reddit.
It's almost like the latest Star Wars stuff has really diminished its value. Especially considering we are living in dark times.
That's probably one of the dumber things that I have in my head canon for that contractor story. Like, the protagonist is from a world that did not have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Disney didn't do that and doubled and tripled down on Star Wars instead. But instead of doing the sequel trilogy, they went Old Republic and just went through the games and then the MMO and adapted all of that shit instead.
How badly did they screw it up?
They didn't. That's the fun part.
Oh, wow. That's why we have fiction.
Yeah. I can dream, damn it.
It's called fantasy for a reason. Doesn't have to be realistic. My family was watching this whole Disney documentary, like Imagineer series. Oh, also, did you guys hear? So they're doing a scripted show in which, and this is unrelated to anything I was just talking about, but I believe it's some group is doing a scripted show in which Nicolas Cage will be playing Joe Exotic in a new scripted, produced Tiger King-esque show.
I feel like this is one of those situations where, I forget what the idiom is. Stranger than fiction. That's it. They'll inevitably tone it down because they can't make it as crazy as the reality. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so let me just post this so you guys can see the news article. This is one of many news articles. But yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
In fairness, Nicolas Cage... I mean, it makes sense, but it almost feels too obvious,
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I'm excited to see Nicolas Cage doing the crazy Joe Exotic.
That
I feel like we're gonna get some very good memes out of that.
Charlie Sheen would have been on my list for that. He's got tiger blood,
I could see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, I could see that. Charlie Sheen as Doc.
As the tiger.
Charlie Sheen as a tiger.
Just a guy in a really bad tiger outfit, and no one questions it.
Just fucking
and
face
treats
paint.
him like a tiger. Ooh, that's even better.
Okay. Who was going? I don't remember. What were we talking about?
I was going.
Zero.
I was rapidly running out of things to say.
Ah, okay.
So, Slicer, did you do anything of interest?
Yeah. Charlie Sheen Tiger is probably a good endpoint. Yeah. Slicer, you with us?
I hate this microphone.
Yeah.
Or USB ports or whatever the fuck. A few things. Kind of a short week, but on my breaks, I started watching The Orville, so that was actually really good.
I saw a few episodes of that. It was pretty good from what I saw. I never ended up continuing it though.
It was described to me as Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek. I think by Pat, actually, from The Best Friends, and that's accurate. Yeah, I mean it's very sci-fi future. I mean that's literally the setting. It's literally just Star Trek, but funny.
It actually does on occasion try to be taken seriously. And
I mean, in episode 3, they have an all-male race give birth to a female baby, and the crux of the episode is if they should correct it.
Yes. And it's actually really interesting in that regard with the things that it kind of looks at. Very Star Trek-like.
It's I'm not sure if they're going to have an overarching plot eventually, but it's pretty much just they travel and discover some new thing and explore it. Like on the episode I am now, they find a planet that its orbit is half this dimension, half another dimension, and when it goes around another dimension, 700 years passes.
Mm-hmm.
So when one of the officers first goes to the planet, she helps a little girl, and the kid falls down and cuts their head open on a stick or something, and so she uses a little medical device to heal it. And then when it goes forward 700 years, they have a cult based around her. She is the new religion with her healing light. So the officer's name is Kelly, so it's the holy light of Kelly, and it's it's very interesting. I don't know how that episode's going to play out, but I have full faith that it's going to be entertaining.
You can tell he really doesn't want to make Family Guy.
Yeah.
Who would?
I mean, I don't know if have you guys seen not the latest episode, but the one before that, the one where Peter goes into a coma?
Nope.
Okay. You don't have to, and I wouldn't recommend seeing it because that episode is a garbage fire. It is terrible.
I get the feeling that he's focusing on the things that he wants to make and just leaves Family Guy to just some other random people.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially with that episode, you can tell because there is a cutaway gag in every scene. It's less of an episode and just a bunch of vehicles for cutaway gags.
Mm-hmm.
Which
was the worst thing to happen to Family Guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen multiple videos correlating the bad quality of episodes based on how many cutaway gags there are, and yeah, it's always been something they've been on a slippery slope of overusing. The last episode, the one that was released a couple days ago, that was actually pretty decent. A Meg episode, which is not very common. But yeah, the quality of that show has definitely gone downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely something that does not really get a lot of attention anymore. Seemingly, it's just there.
Go watch Orville instead.
Yeah, no, I fully recommend watching the Orville if you're even slightly interested in sci-fi or even just Seth MacFarlane's writing, because it's very clear he's a writer, and it's pretty funny.
When he's putting in the effort, it tends to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I just want to point out the exact correlation this has between The Simpsons and Futurama.
Yeah?
Fair. I have heard, I think there was a Reddit article a little while back that the season 3 of The Orville is returning creative control to Seth MacFarlane and someone else, which leads me to believe that maybe season 2 is not good. Maybe. I don't know how to take that news because I didn't have any context at the time, so who knows? But yeah, that's that show. Next, I am making my way through Final Fantasy VII. On the Discord, I voiced my difficulties and got some help. It did not help. I cannot seem to get down the combat, and it just feels really poorly designed to me.
Slicer, it's not Dark Souls. It's
yeah,
not.
I know. I'm not treating it like that anymore.
Okay.
The problem was I was treating it like character action because that's how it's played, or that's how it feels. Character action with a bunch of abilities you can use to, do extra damage, but apparently that's not how you play it either, so I don't know. I just cranked it down to easy, and now things actually die when I hit them because I'm swinging around a 6-foot tall sword. So
it hasn't. I don't think it's really clicked for you yet, and
I've stopped trying, so it's not going to click.
Yeah,
I'm doing fine on easy. It's actually an enjoyable game when things die. So yeah, the only difficulty I'm having is it's a little hard to complete some of the challenges because things don't tend to stagger. They usually die before they stagger, which is probably very foreign for someone who's playing on normal or even hard. But
I faced a bit of that difficulty on like normal with things just dying too quickly, but then you get to the bosses and they usually have a very specific way to stagger them.
Yeah, they have definite weaknesses and stages where you're supposed to attack them.
But it's typically, just by looking at an enemy, once you kind of get it down, you can kind of figure out what this enemy is weak to. If they're a robot, they're weak to lightning. If they're flying, they're weak to wind. So on and so forth.
Although sometimes the flying enemies are weak to ice, which is kind of weird, but yeah, whatever.
Dual weakness.
Yeah. And I don't know. Organic things are usually weak to fire as well. Or I mean, fire isn't a bad choice.
And if something is like using fire, you know what? I actually really like one of the things I figured out pretty late into the game is that so there's these Shinra flamethrower guys,
I
right?
hate those guys.
If you go around and you hit them in the back, their flamethrower pack explodes.
Oh, yeah. When they first appear, the game points that out. Did you not see that message?
About that for a while, and then I remembered, and I was just like, "Oh, I can make them explode." And then they don't have a flamethrower anymore.
Yeah, that flamethrower is a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Just a cone of damage, basically. But yeah, I don't know. I've never had to put a game on easy before, but honestly, I'm really enjoying it now. It's more like Kingdom Hearts than anything,
Mm.
which I mean, I'm having fun with it, so that's fine with me.
Kingdom Hearts 2 combat developer working on it. And
I can see that.
it's to kind of explain the combat in that game. It's a character action. It's a party action game, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It is less that you are using characters as sort of the like as they have expansive move lists and such to kind of you have your character go and do combos and everything. It's more like you're spending your ATB to combo together the party.
yeah. I do that on bosses, or I've started doing it, but as I said, most things tend to die before that really becomes a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
I think the exact problem with this is it leads too far into character action for me because I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 12. Was it the one that they turned into Zodiac Age?
Yeah.
Vaughn and the bunnies. Yeah, that had a similar system, but the action gauge always built up at the same speed. It didn't. It attacked for you. In this one, it feels like since you do all the attacking and the defending yourself, it feels like it should work more. The statement regular attacks aren't meant to kill enemies demoralized my ability to play this game until I turned down the difficulty. That is so jarring for how I want to play this game and how it feels like it should be played that it just killed it for me.
For most of the game, regular attacks do kill enemies.
The mob enemies that don't have a lot of health, yeah.
Yeah.
But
For bosses, typically it's always just find a way to stagger them. Otherwise, you're playing Final Fantasy VII and you're chipping away at them with moves.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm sure there's probably materia to increase your basic attack stagger, but yeah. Or you just rail on something with Tifa.
Yeah. Like, really, the best way to really, I guess, enjoy that combat is to master everybody's triangle move.
I don't get Aerith's. It just seems like a bit of a burst attack.
Barrett's is a burst attack that does a ton of damage, but also he changes targets if one dies during mid-shot.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And the last one always does a ton of damage, and it also does a lot of stagger as well.
I'm not sure if the mic came through. I meant Aerith.
Aerith? Okay. Aerith's took me a while to figure out. So she creates this spell, if you hold it down, this spell that kind of floats in the air.
Yeah, like flower thing. It's kind of weird.
It explodes.
Yeah, I mean that's what it does, but it's
like the best way I found. I can do a ton of damage with that if you just do it multiple times in a row. I think it makes it explode faster, or I don't know what. But I was noticing that when I was using that, it does a lot more damage the more I do it in a row.
I guess I hadn't noticed that. I don't actually actively play as Aerith a lot because her defense isn't very high. And because this game is, I'm just going to say I don't like the combat. Again, enemies attacking only the character you use really defeats the purpose of having a mage in the back.
There's a provoke materia.
Oh, great.
gives-
More materia I can't fit on my characters because they're already full of shit.
You just put it on your tank, and there you go. Getting the materia to fit, like, you get lots of materia slots by the end of the game.
Yeah,
So-
I'm rapidly getting more, which is good because I can actually. There's more options in combat.
But you like, there's a lot of shifting them around until you find a build that you kind of like. The thing with I put the melee weapon on Barrett and I gave him the provoke because he has such high HP anyways.
Yeah, he's a definite tank. I think I would have to put it on Cloud because I have Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith.
Mm-hmm. And then with Aerith, you summon your familiar, you put down your ward, and then you fire tons and tons of spells. And
Which materia is the ward, by the way? Because I thought that was a
arcane ward is part of her weapons.
Oh, okay. I changed weapons right away, so I don't think I actually mastered that one, so I didn't get it.
You probably should.
Yeah.
That one's her most powerful, one of her most powerful abilities. Because, again, double casting spells, and she has very high magical attack.
Oh, she does. Even in normal, that was pretty much a fight ender. Was her casting any spell?
As well as one of her weapons she gets later on does like Holy Ray of Judgment, where she just fires a laser that hits multiple times.
I think I recently got the weapon that does that. It's like a staff with two bladed circles on either side of it.
Yeah, that one. Which does a ton of damage. And if you line the enemies up perfectly, yeah, it's nice. Because it hits them multiple, so it gets them stun locked sometimes.
Well, so that's been my adventure with that game. I'm glad I can salvage that. I don't know what it is about that combat, but it's just not working for me. So I'm happy I can do something.
Yeah.
But lastly, I got curious and okay, so Fallout Equestria is a thing. Someone combined Fallout with My Little Pony.
Yep.
Okay.
Been a long time since I mentioned that, I know.
Yep.
But I came across I was listening to My Mix on YouTube, and one of the songs was a fan song for Fallout Equestria. And there is the New Vegas equivalent is a fan fiction called Project Horizons. And so someone did an audiobook of that. And so I've been listening to that as of last night.
I'm just imagining how horrifying a ghoul pony is.
Oh, yeah, it's terrifying. You know the Dunwich building?
Mm-hmm.
In Fallout 3? There is a hospital orphanage in the original Fallout Equestria where some really bad shit happens. And that entire, I think it's like 3 chapters long, is just bad. It's very enthralling to read, but oh man, it hurts. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. You know what Gilgamesh runs on? The pile of corpses, or orphan corpses, melded together. Yeah, that. So the only problem is that there are 2 people have made audiobooks for this, and one of them kind of petered out halfway through. The one that actually completed the entire story is very French or German. I can't tell. He has a very strong accent, and it's not unpleasant to listen to. But I'm getting like 90% of what he's saying. So, I hope his enunciation improves a little bit, but it might not.
Yeah, it reminds me. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and like the accent of the person speaking was just so thick. I had to really strain to hear and make out what they were saying, and then some words are just impossible.
Yeah. This is an odd side benefit, but usually, as of lately, when I've been at work, they assign me the riding vacuum, so I'm just vacuuming floors for like 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. And thanks to all the stuff we have to wear for protective equipment for the pandemic, I can actually slip an earbud in, and no one can see my ears, so they don't care. Or rather, they can't call me out on it. So I've been listening to Reddit article videos because they're long and entertaining.
Oh boy.
And this audiobook is loud enough that I'll be able to hear it over the vacuum, which is always an issue. So I'll actually be able to listen to this in a reasonable time frame.
Sometimes I do that just because I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Those Reddit videos are... Ugh. They
They're
just make
not
you
bad.
angry. They just make me angry every time.
I have to avoid certain ones these days because, yeah, it's just really frustrating. I had to stop listening to our confession videos after someone confessed that they intentionally spread viruses around and keep parasites in jars in their house. It was horrifying. Yeah.
That's a ballsy thing to post, like, confessions on Reddit when doxing is such a big deal nowadays.
Yeah, considering how disturbing this person was, unless they were making it all up, I kind of hope someone did that to them, so they were an actual danger to everyone around them.
You know what I recently learned was a thing?
What's that?
Snake wine.
What?
So, snake wine is alcohol with a snake in it.
Okay.
Let me post an image so you guys can understand what I mean when I say alcohol with a snake in it. Alcoholic beverage produced by infusing whole snakes in rice wine or grain alcohol. And I mean whole snakes.
I mean, I'd be willing to try it. Try a sip.
Believed to be a medical wonder. And
No.
Oh, come on, it's literally snake oil.
Yeah.
and yeah. There have been reports from China that such snakes have bitten humans, though they had supposedly been in the bottle for months. That's the fear.
As in, like
They
you're drinking
open the
it
bottle,
and the snake's
snake-
head.
The snake bites you and is alive. They're supposed to be dead,
I
but
feel
sometimes
like
they're not.
someone saw tequila and was told that it has a worm in it, usually if it's like really good tequila, and thought, fucking pussy! Decided to level up, kind of thing.
This has been a thing since 1040 BC, and it's your important medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. Get yourself some snake wine.
Oil.
So the solution here is to just pour it into a cup. Don't drink it out of a fucking jar.
And you all know how much worse it gets? Many of the snakes used for its production are endangered species.
Oh, great. Awesome.
I mean, it's
Kind of
China.
like China.
So it's illegal to import it.
I mean, it should be illegal to make it.
It should be, yes. But no, here's your wine. There's an entire snake in it.
And once you're done drinking it, you can smash the bottle and turn the snake into a belt, because it's already cured.
Now,
Except it's alive, so it's not. It's just a really fucking tough snake now.
Then you just get a boss battle.
This quote from the wiki article: The snake venom proteins are unfolded by the ethanol, and therefore the completed beverage is usually, but not always, safe to drink.
Great.
I mean, in fairness, at that point, it's not venom anymore; it's poison, because you're eating it, you're imbibing it.
How badly do you want to gamble?
I mean, it's China. If I lived in China, I'd be a little down for... I want an 80% chance of living through something.
Hey, I notice you're suffering some hair loss. Well, look. Snake wine, this treats your hair loss. Also, it will make you more manly.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That one I buy.
And it gives you extra virility.
I mean, the confidence that you're getting straight poison. Yeah, okay. I can see that. I don't know. Okay, I had a silly thought. You know how most potato chip bags are like mostly air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the really disturbing version of stuffing the container with inedible shit.
The alcohol is mostly snake.
Yeah. Unless you also eat the snake afterward. Use every part.
It's not just mostly snake, it's mostly drunk snake.
Yeah.
No
wonder it's so bitey.
There are two types of snake wine. One in which the snake is inserted into the container wholly, either while still alive, causing them to drown, or they may be stunned by being placed on ice, after which they are opened, gutted, and then soon shut. And yeah, often the snake is like coiled and ready to attack while stuck inside the jar, and then it dies in that pose. As it's still alive.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just there, ready to attack.
Apparently we've discovered really rudimentary cryostasis technology. Only with beer.
Wine, technically, but yeah.
Sometimes the snake is like, I'm waiting. Release me. And
for 1,000 years I have slumbered. Only to be super drunk. 1,000 years I slumbered. We make fun, but this is horrifying.
It's
It
great.
is.
It's terrible, but it's great.
I like this quote. Whether the tonic actually does anything more than get you buzzed is up in the air.
With the snake that just jumped out of the bottle.
Yep. So, yeah, that was my week. Now I kind of want to try a sip of snake wine. Because fuck it, what do I have to live for at this point? Aside from tasting that sweet snake wine.
What if it turns out that snake wine is the cure for COVID-19?
Oh, God.
Are you willing to risk it?
Zero. Don't say that. The president might be listening.
Oh, God. The fact that that's accurate is painful.
What's that? Snake wine is the cure for COVID-19? Well, I've got like a 50-50 shot with it.
Just take it. What do you got to lose? Veins. I just feel like, hey, you're an expert lady that has like 7 doctorates. Maybe you should look into this. Fucking.
Either the snake bites me or the venom isn't fully dealt with. So
maybe that's a good thing too. Maybe the venom will like fight the COVID or whatever.
Maybe the venom was the cure all along. Maybe Spider-Man is stopping the venom from curing COVID-19.
Okay, we're straying a little from the president and more towards Alex Jones. Like, that's...
What's the difference at this point?
I mean, fair. Oh. part that I was like, fair, but then I was like, no, that's not fair. But then I was like, no, that is actually kind of fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, when people ask me why I don't drink alcohol, I will just show them a picture of snake wine and let them come up with the answer on their own.
I would be interested to know what answer they came up with.
Me too.
Yeah. It's a hell of a fill in the blank, is what that is.
Just walk away and let them like think about that overnight.
So, nothing else, Lysa?
Nope. I just desperately need to use the bathroom now.
Okay. So it's May, but I think the Patreon thing doesn't go through until later today.
It went through during the podcast.
Oh, that's convenient. Did mine go through?
So I can real quick just say thank you to all of our patrons over on Patreon. Again, you guys, if you ever want to redeem your rewards, most of you, we already know you're in the Discord. Just let us know. For the month of April, thank you, Buyfresh, for that $20 donation. Thank you, Ethan F, for that $10 donation. Thank you, Bomber BCM, for that $20 donation. Thank you, Troper, for that $5 donation. Thank you, Alex, for that $3.50 donation. I think that's Ryu. Thank you, Greek Guy, for that $1 donation. Thank you, Malik, for that $1 donation. Thank you, Crossbrain, for that $10 donation, and thank you, Vale, for that $10 donation. Again, just I know these are hard times we're in. You don't have to give, but it's just nice if you like what we're doing and want to support us. Just toss us a bit of cash here or there. Every bit is just nice to have, and it's nice to know that we're still being supported by people.
It's a really good feeling.
And that's it for our patrons.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not going to interrupt that, there was one thing else that happened literally yesterday, actually. So I got an email from Nintendo being like, hey, someone logged into your account. Is it you? And that was in the morning. And in the slightly later morning, they're like, hey, thanks for purchasing $200 of Fortnite coins.
Oh.
So some chicken shit piece of ass Colombian fucktard bought $200 worth of Fortnite coins with my credit card.
Yeah, there was that leak. You didn't activate the two-factor.
Yeah, it's two-factored now. I didn't realize that was going to be a problem. But thankfully, the Nintendo rep was very, very helpful. They haven't fully reversed it yet, but they are looking into it. I hope because they have had a leak, they'll be a little more lenient about giving me my money back. Especially since I've never bought. I don't own Fortnite. It's not on my system. It's not anywhere on my account either.
Oh my gosh! I think I was also. I didn't actually check my email. I also got Fortnite scammed.
Great. How much are you out?
$99.
Ugh.
I'm not seeing anything in mine from Nintendo at all.
Yeah, so the only... there are 3 purchases on my purchase history for Nintendo. It's someone buying me Animal Crossing, and then $200 of Fortnite coins. What an interesting purchase history. I did. I contacted... Nintendo suggested I contact PayPal as well, because it was through my PayPal. And PayPal is like, get fucked. So, a lot of help they were. I don't have a lot of faith in PayPal anymore, because this is like the 3rd time they've refused to reverse a purchase. That not me. If anyone remembers me a while back, someone buying the $80 Gundam with my credit card.
Hmm.
I had to get. I think it was eBay. I had to get them to give me a refund. Or I contacted the seller, and they seemed very apologetic, so that was nice.
Yeah, it's
Something like that.
it's weird things people try and buy from via you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least the Fortnite thing makes sense because I think you can give those away, so you can kind of turn around and make money off of it. I'm not sure,
Mm.
but yeah, that's my week.
Okay, so that's a podcast. That's a way less fun ending than the fucking snake wine, but whatever, it's fine. Snake wine
Snake wine.
is still a part of our lives now, and nothing can change that.
I think I'm okay with that, as monstrous as it is.
You could say it's now part of our history.
Go away.
No, not a fan of that one.
No, go away. That was bad.
I need to go up
You
with
got
both
away
of
with the
bite.
bus tour thing, okay? You get your one.
You mean tour bus?
Whatever.
Still fucking great. No one's gonna get that joke for fucking weeks. Anyway, yeah. So that's an episode. Thanks for listening. Contact through Discord, link in the description. YouTube comments are shit, but comment if you feel like it. Tell us the thing that I asked about earlier that I forget what it was. It was filling your Monty Python joke. That was it. And fucking donate on Patreon, like Zero said, if you feel like it, or there's like charity stuff that you could donate to. Also, that would also be great if you could do that. Like food banks are in a rough spot right now.
Yeah.
And fucking all sorts of like if you have like children's hospitals in the region or anything like that, that'd also be great and stuff. Just hospitals or medical like charities in general would be really good right now.
I know people don't have a really great opinion of hospitals and pharmacies and stuff like that, but the hospitals are currently hemorrhaging money. So, I mean, they're not going to go out of business or anything, but it does help. Anything helps.
So yeah, that's an episode. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.